Alrighty, so thank you so much for joining us, and thanks for staying on with us as we got started with the technicalities. If you've just hopped on in the last couple of minutes, again, my name is Sarah Klesko. I'm really excited to be sharing with you tonight about our Shred10 program that we are now forming a group for January. So this is perfect timing. It's all keeners who are, thinking about this before Christmas. Good for you. And I'm just gonna hop on to the PowerPoint here so you can see a little bit more visuals. Co-hosting with me tonight is Megan Simonellis. She is a personal fitness trainer in the Edmonton area. She's an absolute sweetheart and such a little house of wisdom too. So can't wait for her to share some info with you as well. Megan, we're going to get going here, and then whenever it is your turn to speak, just make sure you're unmuted, okay? Can we hear you? Test?
Sorry, what?
Oh, good, it works. Okay.
You can hear me? Okay, awesome.
We can hear you. Okay, good.
Good.
All right, awesome. I'm just going to share my screen. There we go. Okay, so welcome. We are all here. Anyone who invited you here tonight is part of something, a movement that we like to call the Healthy Living Revolution. And so we are a part of a company that the mission is to inspire healthy living around the world. And so the reason why many of us are involved in this and so passionate about sharing this information that we're going to be sharing with you tonight is because we've all hit a wall in our health at one time or another, where we were forced to make some changes, and we were amazed and very happy to find that very simple changes led to very powerful changes within our health. So we are so passionate about sharing this message tonight with you. I was introduced to this community over 12 years ago, and it's been quite a journey. I won't go too much into my story right now, but I will just say that 12 years ago, I was at the lowest point with my health. I was barely into my early teens, and I was going to university. I was struggling with sickness, being sick all the time. That was me, sick and tired. And I was frustrated because no matter what I did, no matter what I ate, I was getting sick. And so some of the simple changes we're going to share with you tonight made a huge change to my health, and I will share a little bit about that more now, or more in a few minutes here. So just to introduce myself a little bit, I am a certified holistic nutritional consultant, but my main focus right now is my two kids at home. So I've got a 1-year-old and a 3-year-old, and I stay at home and I share this message that I'm going to share with you tonight, and that is my main focus right now. So we're really excited that you've decided to join us. Maybe just, take a minute to think about what brought you to this call tonight. What are the changes that you would like to see in your health, in your energy levels, in your sleep, in your cravings? What is it that you are looking for, or if you could change one thing about how you feel or your state of health, what would that be? So we really share this idea of shred it, live it, share it. So we will share with you how we shred it for 10 days. We live it by continuing on with our health journey. And then we share with others if we feel the need to do so. And so the Shred10 program is not a weight loss program. It is a jumpstart program into better health. I like to say that it is a shove in the right direction, not a nudge in the right direction. It really is an amazing program that's been created by some really powerful people in our world, and it is a vigorous way to detoxify your body and nourish every single cell in your body. So we hope that with this knowledge, you can transition yourself into a healthier lifestyle. So why do we need to have something like the Shred10? It really comes down to this, that there are two startling trends in our world currently. So the first one is that environmental toxins that we are exposed to are increasing. So Wouldn't you agree that this is something that we are all becoming more aware of? You know, the toxins are in our cosmetics, in the air, in our pollution, in the electromagnetic frequencies. This is a thing that we're talking about a lot. And it's really leading to all kinds of health problems. Even though we have more knowledge about nutrition and prevention than ever before, we are still seeing that every single chronic illness is increasing and increasing in younger populations. So they're everywhere. You know, we're breathing them in, we're putting them on our skin, they're on our lawn, in our pool, and we're even eating different toxic substances. And that second trend is that at the same time, our food quality is decreasing so much. So, you know, we can't even pronounce many of the ingredients in our foods anymore. If you walk into a grocery store, most of what you're seeing is food-like products. It's such a funny thing to think about the term organic food. That's just food. Like, that was the food that our grandpa, that generation, that's what they called food, guys. But we have to call it organic food that wasn't messed with by man. I'm going to let Megan take over for this one a little bit and introduce herself.
All right. Hi, guys. My name is Megan. Thank you for the lovely introduction, Sarah. That's awesome. Just a quick little intro about myself. I am a personal trainer, and I am also vegan. And I just started on Juice Plus a couple of months ago, and I've been loving it so much. So I'm so excited to share a little bit about myself and my story and what Shred10 is all about. So kind of moving on with what Sarah was saying. So because of those two trends, this creates a need to detox and rejuvenate, and that's what this Shred10 is all about. So let's talk about an important topic for many people, maintaining a healthy weight, because we know that excess fat contributes to over 20 different diseases. So remember the toxins Sarah was just mentioning about? Our bodies can't handle the onslaught of toxins, so it protects our organs by trapping the toxins in our fat cells. The good news is that this keeps the toxins from roaming and causing havoc in our bodies. The bad news is the fat cells expand and cause weight issues. And as I said, I'm a personal trainer, and I do see this quite a bit, and I know that a lot of people have a hard time losing weight or maintaining a healthy weight. So when you burn fat in the wrong way without proper nutrition and over exercising, the toxins are released into the bloodstream, which stresses the body even more. So your body very smartly goes into fat production to once again enrobe the toxins protecting your vital organs, and the fat returns. And it's just a continuous cycle. So you're losing weight, gaining weight, losing weight, gaining weight. So there is a better way. The safe and healthy way to lose weight is to allow your body to cleanse itself with fruits and vegetables. Now you're shedding fat and assisting your liver so it can do its job and cleanse the toxins properly. Weight loss is easier, quicker, and leads to a more permanent weight loss, which is what the end goal is, instead of doing the up and down cycle.
Thank you so much for explaining that. And that kind of leads us into this next point here, because, you know, how can we eat enough? How can we protect our bodies and nourish ourselves so that our bodies can properly detoxify and expel those things? So the truth is that really these days can't. And there's two reasons for that. The first reason is that the quantity that we need to eat these days is so high. So 7 to 13 servings is for a typical person of fruits and vegetables every single day. And a serving is the size of your hand like this. So when I heard that, I was like, is that a fake, like, made up recommendation? Like, that doesn't make sense. Who can do that? You know, that might be all I would eat if that were the case. And believe me, I do try, but most people eat between 1 to 5 servings. That's what they're able to get in a day realistically. So how do we bridge that gap? That's where our Juice Plus products really come into play for this program. And it's one of the most important parts of this for sure with the Shred10. So to add what we call the Juice Plus Trio, which is the capsules in the front there, it's 30 different whole foods into a capsule form. And then with the shakes, an additional 15. So this is like flooding your body with 45 fruits, vegetables, and berries every day. It's not a substitute for the real thing, but it definitely helps us bridge the gap between, what we need to eat and what we're actually eating. And as you're trying to eat a lot of other plants during the Shred10 as well. So this is powdered produce. And so you'll add 2 of each of the capsules every day and drink 2 shakes a day on the Shred10. For me, this change alone made a significant, dramatic change to my health. So as I said, I was at the lowest point of my health 12 years ago, struggling with my immune system, getting sick all of the time on antibiotics every single year, ever since I could remember. As well, I was struggling getting sick with my digestion. So either way, I was sick with one or the other. And that was really tough because I was taking over-the-counter medications every day to mask my symptoms just so I could get through the day of midterms or go to a party. And I really isolated a lot because of my digestive symptoms, and I had a lot of anxiety that went with that. And on top of that, I was in my early 20s and apparently healthy, but for some reason, my body was holding on to an extra 10 pounds of weight. And now hearing what Megan just said, it makes so much sense why. My body was in protection mode. So I couldn't get over that. I started on the capsules, and within 6 months, I recognized that I hadn't been sick since I started, which doesn't happen for everyone right off that way in that short amount of time. But for me, I did notice that. And now with 12 years on the product, looking back, I haven't been on antibiotics since I started. With some of the changes we're going to teach you with the guidelines of this program, I was really able to eliminate my digestive problems. I went from severe IBS, thinking I was going to get a diagnosis for colitis or Crohn's, to not having any symptoms. And I don't remember the last time I've had to take over-the-counter prescriptions. So that has been huge. But another thing I wanted to mention is that what I noticed with my weight and that last 10 pounds that stuck to me for protection, I noticed in pictures. I did not notice this right off the bat, but when I looked back at myself in pictures a year later after starting Juice Plus, I realized that I had lost it, and I didn't even notice. And so that was over 10 years ago, and I kept that weight ever since. Like, I've kept that healthy weight without that excess for this long, and I've been through 2 pregnancies. So my body's been able to bounce back really easily and easily maintain that. And I truly, I really give credit to this slide right here for that. So let's talk a little bit about willpower, because anytime we're starting a program, that's something that I think of. I don't think I had any willpower, but I learned about this and it's so empowering. So, it's not true that some people have willpower and some people don't. Willpower is actually a function of your blood sugar. So think about the last time that you skipped a meal or you were too busy that you just forgot to eat. We all have those days. I know I do. And then when that happens, all you want to eat is anything that's in sight. So here's why. It's called glycemic index. It's the rate at which sugar enters your bloodstream. And as we all know, sugar should enter your bloodstream slowly and give you sustained energy. Or sugar can rush in and spike your blood sugar, like you see in the taller curve there on this slide. So this is what happens when we eat empty carbohydrates, like bread, crackers, boxed foods. There's a spike in that blood sugar, and then it comes crashing down. And an hour or 2 later, you need a nap, but definitely not before you've already emptied the pantry. So that's kind of that vicious cycle of blood sugar willpower. This also happens when we skip a meal or first thing in the morning when we wake up on an empty stomach and think we have to have caffeine to wake up. So same thing. The dark blue line shows what happens when we eat a low glycemic meal. So with fiber included with it. So that means the sugar is going to enter the bloodstream slowly, and that's just like with our Juice Plus Complete Shakes. So then our blood sugar is stable, and it's so much easier to avoid bad habits, bad foods, because you're in the zone of willpower there, and you might find that you lose your junk food cravings. This is why the complete is such an important part of the Shred10.
So these are our complete shakes. They are absolutely amazing. I am obsessed with them so much. They taste amazing. And I have both the vanilla and the chocolate. So another great thing, besides them tasting great, is that they're low glycemic. So just as Sarah was talking about, it stabilizes that blood sugar. So you're not going up and down. You're staying stable. And it also has 13 grams of plant-based protein, as well as broccoli and radish sprouts, pumpkin, pomegranate, and spirulina. So I know for me, I used to be on like whey protein isolates, and as I mentioned, I'm vegan, but I also am lactose intolerant. So I know that upset my stomach quite a bit. So I was very happy to hear that this was a plant-based protein where I was still getting quite a bit of protein without having to worry about any milk products in it. And the complete has 8 grams of pure plant fiber per serving. The oligosaccharides in the complete are actually a prebiotic that helps your digestive system keep healthy, which is a plus, especially in this flu season. I know I've been talking to so many people, and a lot of people have been sick. And I don't mean to brag, but I haven't been sick yet. So maybe the shakes have something to do with that. So you can use the shakes in so many ways. You can get really creative with it. I actually just went to a protein ball making party last weekend, and we used these complete shakes to make some, and they were so yummy. I ate them all pretty much like the first day I got home. But I almost have, like, I have a shake almost every day. I either have it for breakfast, sometimes I have it after a workout, or even in the evening as a little dessert. Just if I'm having a bit of a sweet tooth, I either have a smoothie, or like I said, I get creative. I make like puddings and stuff. It's a great thing to add into your day of eating, and you don't have to feel guilty about it, because it has all this amazing fiber and plant proteins that are actually doing good to your health. So I really look forward to having my shake every day.
Awesome. So we also have our Omega blend here. This is a newer addition in the past couple of years, but it's a really important one. So omegas are really widely known to be especially beneficial for the heart, the brain, the joints, the skin, and the eyes. And I think it's really interesting because the stories that I hear back from people as they've added these omegas are all in those areas so far. So it's really neat. I know for myself, I noticed that I had bumps on my arms forever, just like little skin bumps, and they just went away. And I kind of realized, I was like, oh, maybe that's from the omegas. I don't know. Like, I just didn't even really notice that they're gone now. Also, after 2 pregnancies, my eye doctor expected that my prescription would definitely need to go up and increase. But after 2 years, like in the same time, I've been on these omegas, and my prescription actually went down. So I was like, okay, this is good. I can do that. I've had glasses since I was 12, so that's fantastic. We love our omegas because they are a plant-based source. I know that I stopped taking my fish omega when I got pregnant because I was concerned about purity, about the things you hear about mercury and heavy metals in fish these days. So what I love is that our company recognized that fish don't actually get their omegas in and of themselves. They get it from eating seaweed. So why not get it from seaweed? So we have, there is a seaweed oil in here, as well as different plant-based oils from raspberry seeds, sea buckthorn, pomegranate. So really cool sources. And when you open up the capsule, and I do, and I give that to my son, tastes like orange vanilla, so that's not so bad. So the Shred10 is about shredding the food, toxins, and habits for 10 days that are not serving you, and adopting new, healthier habits. And Megan, if you are still free, you can go ahead and share the guidelines.
Yes, hello, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Awesome. Sorry, I just lost connection there. But anyways, so now on to the guidelines. So what will you actually be doing within the 10 days? So you'll be adding more real foods. So we're talking fruits, vegetables, whole grains, peas, and beans. And you'll be doing this by adding the Juice Plus Trio capsules, which we were talking about previously, and also the shakes to support this, since we know that normally we don't get enough in our day-to-day diets. And we really want to encourage you to eat as clean as possible during these 10 days. It's only 10 days, so you really want to give it your all. And this will give your body a break from digesting the heavier foods, and will also reduce inflammation and free the body up to cleanse and rejuvenate itself. You'll drink plenty of water. You also want to get sleep for between 7 to 8 hours each night, and exercise most days. So for exercising, that doesn't mean very vigorous, even going for a walk, doing yoga, or anything like that. Just get your body moving. And you also want to eliminate gluten, dairy, caffeine, alcohol, and processed foods, artificial and refined sugars. Now, we're not saying you have to do this for the rest of your life, but it is very important during the Shred10 in order to feel the full effects. And we also encourage that you do not eat after 6 p.m. and to give your body a chance to rest, digest, and eliminate the toxins effectively. So if you are pregnant, nursing, or if you're a child or an athlete, you may have to accommodate any of these rules, and you might eliminate the 6 p.m. rule. So once you order your Juice Plus, you'll receive the Shred Guidebook. It's a wonderful ebook, and this will provide healthy meal ideas, shake recipes, snack ideas, because the great thing about the Shred10 that you're actually eating. I've been on so many different, I guess, little detox diet things, and a lot of the time you don't get to eat, whereas this, you get to eat. You're just trying to eat more wholesome, healthier foods, which is awesome, because who doesn't love to eat, right? So yeah, and the guidebook will also explain the guidelines in detail. So if you have any questions and you're wondering why you have to cut any of those food groups I was talking about, or why you have to get enough sleep or stop eating after 6 p.m., the guidelines will explain everything. And yeah, so it's definitely a great resource to look at. Like I said, you do get it once you put your order in, so it's pretty awesome. And another great thing, there is no calorie counting whatsoever, so you do not have to worry. As long as you're providing your body with the proper nutrition that it needs, you do not have to worry about calorie counting or food deprivation or anything complicated. So the Shred10 is also safe and effective for the whole family.
I went back to one. How do I get back to where I need to go? Where's my tech guy? Okay, I'm just gonna run with it. I'm gonna pretend that didn't happen. So when you commit to the Shred 10 guidelines, it's really amazing to see the benefits that can come about. It's very common to see better energy, improved sleep, decreased cravings, decreased bloating. And I'd like to invite someone to share their story of someone who's tried this program and taken use of the tools that we share with our nutritional foundation. So I'm going to invite Maria to please, if you will, and you can share a bit about your story.
Awesome. Thank you so much. As Sarah said, my name is Maria, and I'm going to share with you a little bit of my journey when I did this program. So for those of you that might haven't heard me speak before, I started taking Juice Plus because even though I am a dancer and a singer, so very, very active, and I was already eating well, and I was already investing in some pretty high quality vitamins, I was still feeling so tired that I was just rolling down the window while driving, pumping the music up, and just kind of giving me one of these to keep myself going through the day. And I was also put on thyroid medication and told that I was going to be on that on increasing dosages for the rest of my life. And it was just something that ran in my family, and that was going to be that. I was also sleeping terribly. And then once I fell asleep, I was having a hard time staying asleep. And also just emotionally, I was so low so much of the time. And when I was socializing, I would pretend to be okay, but I was really, really low a lot of the time. So when I heard about Juice Plus, I knew that I needed to make that change, and I added it into my life, and I noticed a huge change in my energy levels. I felt 10 million times better. I got, after 5.5 months, my experience is that I got taken off of all my thyroid medication, and I never saw that coming. I've been sleeping amazing and staying asleep, and also just noticing that my moods are a lot more stable. So my husband even told me that I was more pleasant to be around in a loving way, but that just really made it clear to me that this was not in my head. This product was making a big change in my life. But although I thought I was eating pretty well, what I found is that I was really using Juice Plus as a crutch to not cut some of those bad habits. I knew I would get those 30 different fruits and vegetables in there, and I was drinking my shakes a day, and that's 45 whole foods and good enough, you know? And so when it came to the Shred, I want you to know, honestly, I kept saying I was going to start it over and over and over again, and I just would talk myself out of it constantly. And our brains are so powerful. I legitimately was like, oh, I don't know. I just don't think I could cut out caffeine. Oh, I don't know. I really love bread. Like, these were the things that I was really struggling with. But I finally just bit the bullet and did it. And I will be very honest and tell you that the first few days for me were rough. The detox was rough. I had a headache. I went through crazy sugar withdrawals, but that's why this was so necessary, because I got to be involved in this support group and community that was lifting me up so that I could keep with it, even though I was struggling for those first few days. And I kid you not, after I got through those first few days and realized this was about focusing on what I could have and not on what I couldn't have, it changed my mindset completely. My energy increased. The first time I did a shred in 10 days, I lost 10 inches. Now, that was just, I'm not saying that this is a weight loss program, but that's how inflamed I was. And also remembering that I had my son a year ago and just hadn't completely lost that weight. And this really just reset myself, and I just noticed that my cravings were better. I wouldn't feel snacky anymore at night. I mean, I just overall realized that that's how my body was supposed to function, that I didn't even by the end miss coffee. I didn't need it. My energy was amazing. And I wasn't even drinking that 1 cup of coffee anymore. And I wasn't eating. I switched it so that I didn't eat after 8 because I'm quite active and I stay up a little bit later. So for me, that was the switch that worked for me. But it was the support that did it all for me, and the resources and tools. So that's my journey.
All right, so I'm going to share a little bit of my story. Bit of an intro earlier, a couple of months ago, so I'm fairly new to it. And I was skeptical at first, and I wasn't quite sure whether or not I was really going to benefit from it, because I was already a very active person, eating quite healthy, so I didn't think I needed it. But I'm always into improving myself and improving my health. And I heard so many amazing stories that I thought, you know what, just give it a shot. What do you have to lose? So I got on the trio. And I didn't, like I said, I didn't think I was going to feel a difference, but I actually did. My skin started clearing up. I do tend to experience some spots and whatnot, but my skin has been so clear and glowy and vibrant, and people started saying that just after like, I want to say a month or two on the product. Also, my hair actually surprisingly was growing like crazy. My nails and my eyelashes, just something I didn't think I was going to see. And along with better sleep and for my recovery time also in the gym. I work out probably about 5 to 6 days a week, and I do suffer from soreness, but I've noticed that my recovery time has been amazing, and I haven't been as sore and exhausted as I normally am, which is absolutely amazing. So I'm very happy with my results so far, and I'm excited to see just where else this product is going to take me, because yeah, I think I've hit about the 4-month mark now, so I'm still pretty new with it. And also with the Shred10, I'm excited. I love challenges. Like I've mentioned before, I've done a couple of like kind of like detox challenge type stuff, not and the great thing about Shred10 is that it's not this crazy, oh, you got to drop 10 pounds like in 10 days type thing. It's taking it to a place where it's actually going to help your health. It's actually, you know, a lifestyle change. Like there are some things, you know, like cutting dairy and coffee and sugar that might seem extreme at first, but at the end of it, you feel so amazing. I know for me, like, it was difficult at first. Obviously, the first few days are definitely hard, especially my first shred that I did. I was like, oh my God, coffee, are you serious? And things like that. I wasn't quite sure about that. But once you stick to it, you start to feel the changes quite quickly. And I know by the end of my first one, I felt almost lighter, leaner, I guess you could say. My bloating had gone away. I had so much energy. I felt vibrant. I just felt absolutely amazing. And my cravings went away. I'm a late night snacker. I have quite a big sweet tooth. So I know like in the evenings, I used to like snack and snack and snack. And that was one of my kind of downfalls. But once I did the Shred10 and I stopped eating around, I would do between 6 to 8, just because my schedule kind of fluctuates. So depending on what the day looked like, sometimes I'd stop at 6 or 8, and I'm also active. But I noticed that I stopped like needing to snack. I was full, I was satiated, and I felt happy. So I didn't have to worry about, you know, like, oh my God, I'm gonna grab the cookies, I'm gonna grab the chocolate or whatever. I felt good. And also coffee too. I don't feel the need. I used to have probably like 3 cups of coffee in the morning. Now I'm okay with 1. Sometimes I don't even have any coffee. And it was a really great jump start to even better, healthier habits for me. And I've been able to, you know, stick to most of it even into my day-to-day lifestyle. Like I try to keep sugar at a low, and although it's like hard and you may feel like those detox symptoms, just like sticking through it and finding somebody like an accountability partner is amazing. That's why groups like these, when we do them together, you really feel that like you have that support system, and you can have somebody to, you know, there to keep you accountable. And also the resources to definitely recommend the recipe book. It has such great meal ideas, and yeah, you get to eat good food. You don't get to starve or deprive yourself or anything like that. And I just love this program so much, and I think it's so much fun. And yeah, I'm excited for you guys to feel the after effects of Shred10.
Awesome. Thank you so much, ladies, for sharing your stories. It's seriously, that's my favorite part of these events, is hearing how it's impacted people's lives on a real level. And, you know, it's just amazing how well the body functions when it's getting fueled right. And what I love about the Shred10 is that nutritional support piece especially, and that's why it works. Juice Plus has been studied all over the world for the past 20 years, and it is the most researched nutritional product on the planet. So I know that when I invested in myself with Juice Plus, I felt really proud because my representative told me that. And I was like, okay, I feel like I know I've probably made a pretty good decision. Like, even if I had any doubt, like, that's a pretty good line there, the most researched nutritional product. So that's really exciting. And so really, it's just about where you see yourself getting started. You've heard a lot of information tonight. And I just want to encourage you that, you know, if January is not your month, if you're like, you know what, I'm just not ready. It makes sense, but maybe not January. That's okay. It took me a few years to feel ready to invest in myself and to believe that I was worth it. And to believe that, you know, this could make a difference for me. It took some time to sit on that. So if that's where you're at tonight, great. If something makes sense to you tonight about our product and about our Shred10 program, then you have the ability to customize pretty much for any single budget. Juice Plus is affordable, it is convenient, and the packages, whether you go for just the trio or just the shakes or some combination of all of those, it really is up to you and what you're comfortable spending and how far you want to be able to go in the next, you know, 4 months. So really just wanted to share how customizable that was. I know those are not Alberta prices, so I won't keep those on. I'm just going to show my video. There we go. Okay, so when you get started with Juice Plus and with the Shred10 program, so we have our next Shred10 starting up January 7th till the 17th. That's our next 10 days. We'll generally do this at the beginning of every month. So all of us together lock arms, and we have a Facebook online support group where you get access to amazing recipes, like Megan said. You will not starve. They're so good. We even have prep parties together if you're in the same area. We'll do salad jar parties or smoothie bag parties, protein ball workshops, and we will meal prep together. We have grocery guides, meal plans, tons of great information about the why. The guidelines are there. And so if that's something that interests you, we welcome you to jump in with both feet with us, and we will take you under our wing and make sure that your product comes well before, so that you can get situated with it before the Shred10. So if that's something that interests you, you just let the person who invited you to this know what you're comfortable spending, and we will find a package that works for you. All right, so thanks so much for tuning in, you guys. If you have any questions, I'll stop the recording and you can go ahead and ask. And hope to see you on the other side of this.